Seems like you're taking the ball and going home because you lost.
Casper, people, I came in here this morning. First words out of Stugatz's mouth made me wish that I had never left my Casper mattress. Tell him, Stugatz, not the words out of your mouth, but tell him about Casper.
All right, thank you, Dan. It's the middle of the night. You're tossing and turning, not sleeping, drenched, covered in sweat. It's not the AC. It's your heat-trapping mattress, so get rid of it and get a Casper and do it today. The Casper mattress combines 4 layers of pressure-relieving foams for all-night comfort, plus breathable foams designed to keep you cool all night, all summer long. Sleep cool and comfortable every night. Get a Casper. Try yours for 100 nights with free shipping and returns. Go to Casper.com. Use code STU for $100 towards the purchase of select mattresses. That's Casper.com, code STU. Additional terms and conditions apply. See Casper.com/terms.
Give me more of the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
Need game tickets? Find your seats at Vivid Seats.
The Gong, an instrument used to start a sumo wrestling match. At My Computer Career, it celebrates the start of a student's new life as an IT professional and completion of a student journey focused on the result, getting you out of an unrewarding job and into an IT career in as little as 4 months, even with zero IT experience. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Classes meet just twice a week. It's not rocket science, you know. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Introducing the new $5 Biggie Bag from Wendy's. It comes with a new bacon double stack made with a quarter pound of fresh, never frozen beef and topped with crispy applewood smoked bacon. Plus 4 nuggets, fries, and a drink all for just $5. That's right, just $5. The new $5 Biggie Bag from Wendy's is everything you could ever want. Well, at least for lunch. Try Wendy's new $5 Biggie Bag today. Biggie Bag includes 4-piece nuggets, small fries, and a small drink. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada. Approximate weight before cooking. Price and participation may vary in Alaska and Hawaii.
Doe's Eat Place is the best of the best steakhouse in the River Valley. Award-winning steaks in a great atmosphere is what you will experience every time. Doe's Eat Place offers over 150 selections of wine, including 50 Cabernets, 200 spirits, including 80 whiskeys, bourbons, and scotch, and 75 beers, with 20 different local beers and 50 imported and craft beers. Everything you need for a memorable evening is at Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd in Fort Smith. Open 5 till 9 Monday through Thursday and 5 till 10 Friday and Saturday. Call 784-9111 for reservations.
Metal Mart offers high-quality prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shop, carports, and more. They strive to be a company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Mart assists you in calculating the materials needed to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. Stop by 7320 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith or call 648-3342. You can also catch them online at metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
True Grit Running Company is where perseverance meets passion. Whether you're training for your next marathon or just comfortable shoes to keep up with your kids, we have the gear to help you reach your goals. With our slow motion gait analysis and our extensive product knowledge, we have the right pair of shoes for you. We also carry apparel, nutrition, hydration accessories, injury prevention gear, and recovery products. We offer classes, workshops, and group runs. Lace up, show up, and get your grit on. True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
Evans Body Shop is ready to get your vehicle spiffed up for all the fun activities and trips that come along with the summer. Spend your days at the pool, not worrying about getting your car fixed. We'll do that for you. We will work with you and your insurance company to make the entire process easy. Follow us on Facebook so that you won't miss your chance to win Parrot Island tickets throughout the summer. Stop in today, 412 Portland Avenue, Van Buren, and you'll see why we say
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Magic Springs Theme and Water Park has big rides, big slides, and big concerts. Get ready for Crowder and Torrin Wells. Saturday, June 15th. Concert begins at 7 p.m. Don't miss Crowder and Torrin Wells at Magic Springs. Concert is free with your one-day admission or season pass. Get yours today at MagicSprings.com or Kroger.
Magic Springs, we love you.
Hey folks, it's that busy time of year again. Greenview, the River Valley's largest grounds maintenance provider, is seeking additional workforce in lawn care, landscaping, irrigation, and weed control. If you're tired of that going nowhere job and you're looking for a new career path with advancement opportunities and year-round employment with benefits, seek out Greenview today. Call them at 479-242-0466 to set up an interview today.
Hi, I'm Drake Smith with Pinnacle Telecom, here with longtime Pinnacle customer Harry Robinson, owner of Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Harry, why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience with Pinnacle Telecom?
Well, it's been a great experience. I've been doing business with the phone portion of Pinnacle Telecom for 10 years. You've got 2 fiber optic lines running in here to my business now. One's running a full gigabit of service. The other one's running about 400 megabits. I can't tell you how much it's helped our business in the service department and other departments here. It's getting my guys where they can invest their time and get more jobs done by being able to get the downloads done faster. Drake, I mean, it's just been fantastic.
Well, Harry, it's been our pleasure having you as a valued customer all these years. At Pinnacle Telecom, we take pride in providing local service, local support, and speed you can count on. Give us a call today, 479-242-0000. Pinnacle Telecom, tomorrow's technology today.
Razorback news, podcasts, videos, and tons more online now. Only at hitthatline.com.
Don Le Batard.
Stugat spent the entire break giggling at a text. What does that text read?
This has been the worst hour in the last 6 years of the show, and it's not even close.
Stugats.
And it's not even over.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugats on ESPN Radio.
If you missed any of our interviews, go check them out on demand in the Dan Le Batard podcast brought to you by Capital One. Capital One is reimagining banking, offering accounts with no fees or minimums that can be opened in 5 minutes. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Capital One, N.A., member FDIC.
At Le Batard Show, if you want to vote on any of the polls that Stugats is about to update from Edmonton, Alberta, this comes in where the Canadian national anthem tonight will be sung by the fans in the craziest Canada you've ever seen for basketball. Jeff Hendrick writes, love how you guys still think a guy who couldn't finish a 3-on-3 practice 3 days ago will come in after a month off playing at 50% and help the Warriors run the table.
He's that guy.
I love your doctor diagnosis of 50%, Jeff Hendrick, after studying all that ails Kevin Durant's calf.
How do you feel about the fans singing that national anthem together? That's goosebumps, right?
This is a cool thing for Canada. I love that Canada's falling in love with basketball. I love that Kawhi Leonard is immediately going to leave the team after the game, never to return. I love that tonight when Toronto wins, Kevin Durant, big smile on his face, is going to come out and grab the Finals MVP trophy in the middle of a roaring Canada. You've got Kevin Durant.
I think that's what he's rooting for.
Just holding up the most valuable player of the final.
Like if I gave KD 2 options, you can come back and play and win the title for the Warriors, or not play at all and win Finals MVP. Which do you think he would use?
I think he would choose winning it. But
losing and winning and not playing a second and winning the MVP.
If they come back and win, he's going to win Finals MVP. It's going to be indisputable. It doesn't even matter what he puts up in the games.
Just his mere presence, because he could come back and maybe play 25 minutes and not put up the numbers.
Teams don't come back from this. This is,
the Cavs did. I mean,
yeah, they're the only. But it was shocking, and it took Draymond Green being ejected. A lot of different things had to happen in order to make that happen.
How about that piece that they added at the deadline, Marcus Gasol, huh?
Nice
Every
piece.
time you want to poo-poo this NBA trade deadline, championships are made at the deadline.
It was the piece that they added in the offseason with the trade. That's the piece.
Pat McCall?
At Le Batard Show, Instagram and Twitter. What do you have, Stugat?
The Twitter poll is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Dollar Shave Club delivers the products you use to look, feel, and smell your best right to your door. Plus, with their handsome discount, the more you buy, the more you save. Go to dollarshaveclub.com/Dan for a special offer. Again, at Le Batard Show on Twitter. Is 600 feet the longest home run ever hit? 600 feet. 73% of the audience said yes. Does Madison Bumgarner sound more like he sells diabetes medication or he pans for gold? 72% of the audience said he pans for gold. Are a cove and a bay synonymous? Still not certain what that means. 52% of the audience said yes, they are, if you say so. Is Max Muncy a great name for a power hitter? 80% of the audience said yes. It's hard to get better than that, right? Max Muncy?
Well, let's see. Can we do better than that? Can anyone do better than Max Muncy? I don't know. I don't know.
In terms of power hitting?
Yeah, like Max Muncy. If your name's Max Muncy as a kid, you're meant to be a power hitter.
Yeah. Butch Husky.
Babe Ruth.
Ooh.
A good one. Yeah.
How about stuff that has wordplay in it, like Ryan Braun, like or anyone named Strong? No, anything in the Strong family? At Levitard Show, Instagram and Twitter.
Homer Bailey.
Not bad. Homer.
He's a pitcher, and he gives up homers. It was a Homer Bush.
Crush Davis.
Ooh.
But is there such a thing?
Yeah, Chris Davis. Crush. Crush
They
Davis.
call him Crush?
Yeah.
Well, when he's hitting home runs.
That's
Yes.
not his name. We're looking for actual names.
Should Kevin Durant win the Finals MVP playing no games? 69% of the audience said yes.
Nice. Trot Nixon.
Is A-Rod being the face of Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN equivalent to Lance Armstrong calling the Tour de France?
Home Run Smith.
85% of the audience said yes.
That's a great one, Chris. You did great work there. Home Run Smith. Excellent work. Home Run Smith.
It's very clever.
You win. I mean, you must have worked for a long time on that.
Did you workshop that around the
You've
room?
been waiting all your life for this topic to come up on the radio so that you could come in and really just impress everyone in America with the name Home Run Smith.
I don't think that's a real person.
I don't think so. No.
What are American basketball fans rooting for tonight? More basketball or a new underdog champion? 63% of the audience said a new champion. I want more basketball. If the Raptors win tonight, should the Sixers be celebrated as the second best NBA team this season? It came the closest.
I mean, they were right there. They were right there to beating the Raptors.
52% of the audience said no. When things break, do you prefer to fix them or replace them? 62% of the audience said replace them. Are you intimidated by a person who comes up to you and says they have a little something for you? 56% of the audience said yes.
What? What?
That's the biggest upset in the
I think
history
they're
of the
not
polls.
hearing it the way that it was said. I want you to imagine me walking up to you in your face in a club and telling you, I have a little something for you. Over enunciating both something.
We will talk to you mañana. This was the Dan Levatar Show on ESPN Radio.
This summer, take the road trip to complete your baseball stadium bucket list.
And when you do, stay at La Quinta by Wyndham Hotels,
Where you can now earn and redeem Wyndham Rewards points at La Quinta and thousands of other Wyndham Rewards properties worldwide.
plus free bright side breakfast and the free high-speed Wi-Fi so you can stay in the work zone while you're away.
Well, with perks like these, you're going, gone.
Tonight, La Quinta. Tomorrow, you triumph.
Book direct at LQ.com.
At Indeed, we believe a resume is a great way to see an overview of a candidate, but you're not hiring a resume, you're hiring a person. That's why Indeed offers tools that help bridge the gap between a candidate and the resume, like skill tests, which let you actually see a candidate's abilities in action to make sure they're a good fit for the job. See beyond the resume with Indeed. Experience Indeed for yourself today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting at Indeed.com/promo. Terms and conditions apply.
This is the Morning Rush.
College men's basketball still the only game to be played in halves.
Yeah, there's no way that you can convince me every other level is better with 4 quarters, but this is the only level, and on the boys' side, that's not better with 4 quarters.
And you say, well, it's the same number of minutes, how you package it, what does it matter? Well, the deal is about the foul count and resetting the foul count at the end of the quarters like they do at the other levels, where it takes away 1 and 1.
1 and 1, and
you just shoot 2 after 5 or whatever in each quarter. The pushback or the apprehension, I've been told by someone that's on the rules committee, is it's television. It's about revenue. And it is somewhat about being different and standing apart. You have 4 media timeouts, got the called timeouts that the coaches get as well, trying to figure out how to package that all in. At the same time, ESPN and all the media partners are trying to figure out how to make every game 2 hours.
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3.
You're born amazing. And at Baptist Health, we want to keep you that way. In fact, that's our mission. To not only provide the most skilled doctors and nurses to heal you from sickness or injury, and comprehensive care to support your recovery, but also to be your guide to health. Also, you can keep on inspiring, keep on reaching, and keep on amazing. For the care that keeps you amazing, visit Baptist-Health.com.
For almost 70 years, Crabtree RV in Alma has been helping people in the River Valley get out and enjoy the great outdoors. And that tradition continues today with our brand new body shop, a first-class service department, and a friendly staff to help you choose from the top brands in the industry. So put away the devices and get out this summer to enjoy all that the natural state has to offer. With a little help from Crabtree RV in Alma, where your family's dreams come true.
It's Truck Month 2.0 at Harry Robinson, and all the 2018s have got to go. There are only 6 2018 Sierra trucks remaining. They have to sell this month. Discounts over $15,000 off retail while they last. And the all-new 2019 GMC Sierra with a redesigned body style and the all-new tailgate. Take $12,000 off retail or choose 0% for 72 months. It's Truck Month 2.0. All the 18s have got to go at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
What happened to paying one price and getting everything included? You buy an airline ticket and pay extra to bring a change of clothes, book a hotel room, and you're shelling out for Wi-Fi and overpriced bottled water. Shipping and handling. Really? Imagine my delight when I found out roadside assistance is now included with my shelter insurance auto policy. So if I get a flat tire or need a jump, I just call and they take care of me. No additional cost. Some restrictions apply, so learn more at shelterinsurance.com.
Ask shelter agents Marsha Cox or Phil Hicks about a free insurance review.
Arts Barbecue and Burgers has the best burger in town. And every Saturday, enjoy any burger at Arts and get $1 off. Try Art's Bacon Cheeseburger, topped with house-smoked bacon, or the Art Attack with bacon, ham, and a fried egg. And all of Art's burgers come with a mound of fresh-cut fries, or upgrade to Art's homemade onion rings. $1 off all burgers every Saturday at Art's Barbecue and Burgers, 8203 Rogers Avenue, next to Aaron's in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Lots of sunshine with us today. Our high temperatures today in the upper 70s to lower 80s. Mainly clear sky tonight. An overnight low will drop down into the low 50s north, upper 50s south. Tomorrow, lots of sunshine. Highs in the upper 70s, and then we may see a few stray showers of storms Wednesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Weather is brought to you by Hertz Car Sales, 2810 Midland Boulevard in Fort Smith. You can call them today at 783-1722 or check them out online at buyfromhertz.com.
ESPN KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 82 days.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Broadcasting live from the Bud Light Studio.
I love Arkansas! I love everything here! Give me that thing here! Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas?
Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
You want answers! I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
This is halftime.
Man, that ball got out of here in a hurry.
anything travels that far, I'd have a damn stewardess on it, don't you think?
With Phil Elson.
You do a fantastic job on the radio. There's no one else in this league I'd rather listen to, so keep up the good work.
And Tye Richardson.
Been doing some homework, man. I appreciate the work you're putting in. Your show is really, really good, guys.
423 miles away, the Emerald City awaits. The Hogs are going to Omaha.
All right, hold on. It's almost halftime.
Oh, boy. You know, Ty, we've been playing that call from last year's Super Regional against South Carolina since the start of the baseball season. And here we are, almost exactly a year since that call when the Hogs dogpiled at Baum. It was still Baum Stadium then. It wasn't Baum Walker Stadium. So one change there. It's not a change that you're playing an SEC team that you know really well. It's not a change that you're playing in a winner-takes-all and third and decisive game. And it's not a change that you wake up the day of one of those sort of games. I remember experiencing last year twice in the Super Regional against Carolina and in the finals of the College World Series against Oregon State. I don't know if I mirror the way that a lot of Arkansas fans feel right now. I'm having a little bit of trouble keeping my stomach from going up in my throat. And that might be because of a number of things that are going on. One, I get a little nervous before going on for a big baseball broadcast that'll be listened throughout the entire state. And I feel for the guys who are going to be on the field that I've grown very fond of over the course of their careers, even if it's just their first year playing at Arkansas. And you got to appreciate what you've accomplished up to this point. And feeling nerves for the fan base, which we talk to day after day and become... you become steeped in the thought that sometimes a fan base feels like it's been snake bitten, and that all kind of rolls into one thing right now. Where I'm feeling a little bit jumpy, almost like I took an entire spoonful of coffee grounds and just put them in my mouth and swallowed them. You ever done that before, Ty?
No, I have not. I
don't recommend it.
I don't think I ever will.
I don't recommend it. It'll feel like your skin is jumping off of your body, which is kind of a little bit the way I feel right now. I felt a little bit of the same way yesterday, but it was more of an excitement, a little bit of an anticipation, along with a hopefulness that you'd be able to find a way to finish that series in just 2 games, which, quite honestly, coming into the series, I didn't think would happen because of the high quality of both of these teams that are going to be playing for it all right here. But yesterday, I think the hopefulness kind of went away pretty quickly. Even though Arkansas does grab the lead in the top of the first inning as the visiting team on Dominic Fletcher's home run, you could see pretty quickly Connor Nolan didn't have great location. He might have had trouble getting out of the first inning, and Arkansas had some trouble making plays in the field that many times they do make. I think you saw a lot of that over the first couple of innings, especially 2 double plays that don't get turned in the second inning. And Ole Miss, the kind of ball club that's going to take advantage of numerous sorts of mistakes. You give Ole Miss 4 or 5 outs in an inning, which Arkansas did in the second yesterday. You walk 4 batters out of 6, which happened in the second inning as well yesterday. You make bad pitches consistently. This is a team that's going to make you pay, and that happened in droves yesterday. In droves. It's funny sometimes when you look at the totals. We always total up runs, hits, and errors. And you'd look at yesterday's game and you'd say, well, look, there were no errors committed by Arkansas. But we counted up 7 plays. I wouldn't call them all misplays, but 7 times where a fielder got their glove on the ball and in a situation where they've made that sort of play many times, but the ball popped out, or you double clutched on a couple of double play chances, or the ball didn't you didn't squeeze it properly. It just felt like Arkansas gave them way too many opportunities yesterday, and I don't know. It's tough to get into the mindset of the team, but for a team that's usually made these plays, it just felt like perhaps the moment might have been a little bit big for them yesterday. So it's a good thing that in baseball, you get a mulligan. You get a mulligan in a series, and yesterday was that. And what also I think has been interesting in this series, Ty, I do think that these are two Omaha caliber teams. I mean, I think at the end of the season, these are 2 of the best 8 teams in the country. That doesn't mean the best 8 teams in the country end up in Omaha. They just happen to be the 8 teams that get there because of the way the tournament is constructed. So these 2 teams, for me, are some of the 8 best teams. But you haven't seen 2 fully, completely played games by these teams yet. It didn't feel like Ole Miss really was able to show up against Isaiah Campbell on Saturday. And a lot of that has to do with Zay, because he didn't just show up. He was the whole story, along with Arkansas's power and the way they hit the ball on Saturday. But I don't know if anybody would have been able to do much against Isaiah Campbell on Saturday. And then yesterday, Arkansas hit the ball well enough to win the game. But still, I mean, there were opportunities that fell by the wayside. Bases loaded, 1 out in the 3rd, can't score the run. A couple of runners on base in the 5th inning, can't bring anybody home. And then unable to do anything against Houston Roth in the last 4 innings. The big right-hander came out of the bullpen. And, they didn't play well in the field, didn't pitch very well. Ole Miss did, for the most part. They made a couple of weird plays in the field, but they did make some nice plays other than that, got good pitching. So Arkansas has played 1 good game out of 2. Ole Miss has played 1 good game out of 2. Sometimes you play a good game and you lose, and that hasn't happened yet. I do anticipate to see a well-played game by both teams today. And maybe, Ty, that's a little bit of hope, or just expectation of seeing high-level baseball in a high-level series where there's a lot at stake for both of these clubs, but we haven't seen a fully played game well between both of these teams. I'd expect to see that today.
You opened the show talking about a sense of nervousness, and I know that you know how much I enjoy food. I went home after the morning rush and tried to fix me some chicken, broccoli, and rice, and I couldn't finish it. I don't know if my stomach was queasy, but I'm kind of in the same boat, and I feel like the majority of Arkansas fans aren't 100% confident heading into today, even though you've hit Ole Miss pretty well these past. You crushed them on Saturday, and you hit them pretty well enough to at least compete yesterday, but you just didn't get enough from the pitching standpoint, and your fielding wasn't up to par, up to Arkansas's typical standards. But that's, you know how much I talk about food. That's what I kind of equate it to. The fact that I couldn't finish a meal shows you how nervous I am about this upcoming game at 3 o'clock today.
Well, and I can see the way you're trying to start the week, too, Ty, with your Skip Bayless meal of chicken, broccoli, and rice. You couldn't even swallow the healthy food. And you usually are eating garbage, so that's I feel for you, man. And I was the same way. I had breakfast, and it's a little tough to keep it down right now. But sooner or later, once we get into the pregame show, I'll probably have the stomach butterflies throughout our entire show here, and I'll only be here for the first 50 minutes or so before you, Tommy, and John take over for – what are we calling the second hour? Is it the extra pregame show to the pregame show? What are we calling the second hour and 30 minutes today?
That's a great question. I know we'll run halftime regularly for the first 30 minutes, and then even though it's not at tonight, I'm assuming we'll keep the name the same, Arkansas Baseball Tonight. We've been kind of out of sorts name because we've just been doing different times and stuff. But we'll give you a heavy dosage of Arkansas baseball this next 2.5 hours. With this being the center point of what every Arkansas fan is looking to and talking about right now. And we talked about how highly anticipated this game was. This has just been the focus piece of our attention, and it has to be. And it's weird. It's weird because, like we always talk Arkansas football, SEC football, and not, but this is what even the casual Arkansas fan wants to be watching and talking about right now.
Well, and one of the premier things to talk about this matchup today is that you have, just like you did yesterday, freshman starting pitchers. And where it was a lefty freshman for them yesterday and a righty freshman for Arkansas today, it's flip-flop. Patrick Wicklander for the Razorbacks, freshman out of San Jose, and Gunnar Hoagland for Ole Miss, who was a 36th overall pick by Pittsburgh last year. So, Hoagland's been their number 3 guy virtually all year long. He doesn't have the prettiest numbers, and he's made 16 appearances, only has 5 decisions. So he doesn't get very deep into the game, and usually the decision is left up to the Ole Miss bullpen, which was the case in both of the games that Hoagland pitched against Arkansas this year. When he pitched in the last game of the regular season series, the 10-5 Ole Miss win. Hoagland wasn't good. He pitched 3 innings, gave up 2 runs, and allowed 4 base runners, but the Razorback bullpen that day was terrible, and Ole Miss took advantage of that. The second time around, Hoagland didn't face the lineup that he'll face today because that was the quarterfinal game of the SEC tournament. When Arkansas, that was the game Dave Van Horn put in essentially a midweek lineup with 7, 8, and 9 constructed differently than it will be today. With that being said, you haven't had much from 7, 8, 9 in the batting order throughout these last 2 games. Yeah. So, take that for what it's worth. Still, Hoagland pitched much better the second time around against Arkansas, which mirrors the way he's been pitching of late. He's worked his way into this role as a third-game starter that isn't just a 3 or 4 inning guy. He can go out and give you 5 or 6 innings if he can get rolling. Hopefully, Arkansas doesn't allow him to get rolling because his best pitch is a 94 to 95 mile an hour fastball. That's something Arkansas handles pretty well, usually. Yesterday you had a left-hander in Nikhazy who was really good mixing up his fastball, which sat about 89-90, and a curveball coming out of the same arm slot, and it looked like the Hogs had some trouble figuring out what he was going to throw in certain situations. Today, Hoagland's got a breaking ball, and it's pretty good, but he's a fastball guy. So if they can hunt that fastball, get something to hit, maybe get him out of the game quickly. For Wicklander, Patrick has had so many different roles this year. It almost feels like last season that they were using him in relief. Of course, it wasn't, because this is his only year, and it's been 2 months since he pitched in relief. We know he was pretty bad in relief, just wasn't comfortable in that role. So he moved to the Saturday starting role. Remember, Connor was pitching on the Sundays for a while there until the doubleheader against Auburn, where the Hogs had to go those 24 innings over the course of 2 games. They split the doubleheader, and then Wicklander pitched the rubber match of that game, which was a Saturday, and went out and threw 5 scoreless innings, helping Arkansas secure the road series win. That was big, and then I think watching Wicklander pitch in the 3rd game of the regional in the final against TCU and shut down that pretty good Horned Frog lineup, it looks like he's grown into that role now of being a rubber match starter, or at least the starter that's trying to clinch a weekend in the postseason, which he did last week, and you're trying to do this week too. They both have really good stuff. Wicklander's got stuff that mixes up a little bit better and a better breaking ball when he's on. And I also would be surprised if either one of these starting pitchers gets into the 6th inning. The theme for this series, I thought, Ty, which I've been wrong about, and you and I have talked about this a lot, as soon as you think you know baseball, you are proven otherwise, that you don't know a darn thing. I thought this series would come down to a battle of bullpens. Those bullpens haven't really come into play very much. It's all been the tone of the game started in the first 5 innings, and it's carried from that point on. I still think today will be a battle of the bullpens, because you have fresh pens, really good pitchers ready to go on both sides, 2 freshmen starting pitchers. I could see some early mixing and matching, 5th inning, 6th inning. This game's going to take a while, because you're going to have a lot of meetings between the pitcher's mound and the dugouts.
Yeah. Phil's not the biggest Gunnar Hoagland fan, not only because he's an Ole Miss Rebel and he's facing Arkansas, but because he spurned his Pirates as a first-round pick last year and ultimately chose to go to Oxford instead. And you got 2 freshmen, as you did yesterday, which is an intriguing matchup. But this guy, as you mentioned, has kind of been up and down this season. Was highly regarded out of high school and hasn't kind of lived up to expectations in year number 1. But again, it's a freshman, so we'll see what happens. The one thing you mentioned to start out the show, Phil, is the fact that they got, 4 innings out of Roth yesterday, and then because of that, they didn't have to pitch Austin Miller, and they didn't have to pitch Parker Caracci. So if you look at the bullpens for both Ole Miss and Arkansas, you have Kostichak, you have Scroggins, and you have Cronin, who only went 2/3 of an inning on Saturday's game. Caracci hasn't pitched. Austin Miller is one of their better bullpen guys, so you have pretty solid numbers in the bullpen for both Arkansas and Ole Miss. Tom Murphy brought up something on the Morning Rush that I'm assuming you would agree with, that you got to give the advantage to whoever has to, and this might sound like a simpleton answer, but whoever has to go to their bullpen first. And it could be an inning before or right before, but the one who has to, or give the advantage who doesn't have to go to their bullpen first, because you just hope that you can stretch out as much. If you're Bianco for Ole Miss or if you're DVH for Arkansas, you stretch as many innings as you can from your freshman guy, because once it gets into that, it's just gonna get a little rougher once you have to start going to your bullpen, because both teams have really managed to hit the bullpens relatively well in this series.
Well, as long as Arkansas can manage to capitalize on opportunities to score, they have the edge as far as the number of lefties that are available. And so many people seem to think that Arkansas struggles against lefties. Ole Miss struggles worse against lefties. Arkansas hits close to 280 against left-handers. And the reason you feel that they struggle against lefties is because they smoke righties to the point where even though they hit lefties okay, they just don't hit them like they do righties. You've got 2 lefties right now. One of them starting. That's Wicklander. That neutralizes a lot of the power for Ole Miss. Matt Cronin, left-hander. I think Matt Cronin is going to throw 2 innings today, no matter what. I think even if they're trailing or if it's a tie game, Cronin will get the ball come 8th inning, maybe even the 7th, depending on the situation. Who's at bat? if it's a Cole Zabowski with a chance to give Ole Miss the lead or tie the game, or a Tyler Keenan or a Kevin Graham, these left-handed batters that just seem to come through with really big hits against Arkansas this year. So I do think as far as the available pitchers, there's a bit of an edge for Arkansas. Also, not just in the fact that they've got lefties compared to righties, but that there's just been more consistency from especially the closers, where Caracci has had a really up-and-down season. I mean, he comes in with an ERA that is close to 5, if not over 5. I don't have my Ole Miss stats in front of me. And Matt Cronin's been really consistent, really from the jump over the course of the last 2 years. So if you're just looking at the way that the bullpen is constructed for today, I do think Arkansas has got a bit of an edge there. But it's not that Ole Miss's pitching is suspect. I remember going into last year's third game against South Carolina, really feeling confident that the Gamecocks didn't have the pitching to get through a third game against Arkansas, and we proved to be right. I think Arkansas scored 6 runs in the first inning and pretty much put it out of reach 2 innings into that ball game, and you could plan your celebration 2.5 hours before it started. That's not going to happen today. Ole Miss has enough pitching to get through a 3-game weekend against Arkansas and anybody else. So I don't have that same confidence that the opponent doesn't measure up. That doesn't mean Arkansas doesn't win. It means they're playing a better team than they played last year.
This next stat should scare you, and I think it's from Hutch at Rivals that Ole Miss has won 5 of their last 6 elimination games. He didn't get a close one in Game 1. He didn't get a close one in Game 2. I as well as many others, would be shocked if this game was not close. Now, you hope, as an Arkansas fan and as the guy that could sing these guys to Omaha, that Arkansas just opens up a can of you-know-what in the first inning and just blows it wide open. But it just doesn't feel like after these first 2 games that it's just going to be a blowout on either side, to be honest, Phil. Now, I could be wrong. Something could happen, and it could turn one way or another. But the fact that Ole Miss has been so good in these elimination games, I think should scare the Razorbacks a little bit. And you don't want to not go into this game confident, but that Ole Miss will be confident heading into today.
Oh, they have no reason not to be. And I think Arkansas should feel the same way. And sometimes series don't always work out the way that you thought they would as far as how tight the games would be. Maybe in a simple manner, you and I and everybody else thinks, well, you got 2 teams in the Super Regional. They played really well to get here, that you should have tight ball games. But look at the Duke-Vanderbilt series. I mean, those were 3 blowouts. No game was close in that. Louisville, East Carolina, 2 total blowouts with Louisville outscoring them. What was it, 23-1? And then you get a Super Regional like UCLA, Michigan with 3 really tight games, and the 2 tight games between LSU and Florida State. So maybe the tone of this series has already been set, and here I was 5 minutes ago saying I expect a tight game, and now I'm telling you, who knows? Who knows? Maybe you're going to see one team win by 10. But that's, again, that's the nature of this sport. As soon as you think you know what you're talking about, you're proven otherwise.
Let's talk about that game yesterday. Arkansas manages to score 2 runs in the first. Connor Nolan has some cushion heading into his inning, and then it just kind of gets away from him. Did it feel weird when Arkansas just had all the momentum to start out and then just Ole Miss snatched it away from him like that?
Well, there's no momentum built up by hitting a home run at the top of the first inning unless your pitcher goes out and throws a 0. So there was no momentum because as soon as Thomas Dillard's line drive fell out of Dominic Fletcher's mitt, the Rebels were threatening. And the next thing you know, Connor hits a batter and gives up a deep fly ball that got caught, and then Cole Zabowski hits one, into the Ozarks. And at that point, when Zabowski homers against Arkansas, bad things happen. I watched this guy play for the last 3 years. He has an ownership stake on Arkansas pitching. When he does things like that, you usually see the script already written. Then Cooper Johnson homers to start the second inning, and I think by that point you could see, even before that, I think they were just hoping that Connor would find his release point and locate his pitches better. It just didn't happen, and they had to take him out. I mean, it was the same thing that happened last year to Isaiah Campbell, although not quite at that level because Zay faced 3 batters, and that was it. And Dave pulled him, and look at what happened to Zay this year, and Connor goes out, faces 7 batters, and gets pulled. That doesn't mean he's not going to pitch in the College World Series if you do get there. I think they would still feel pretty confident giving him the baseball because up until yesterday's start, he'd had 5 or 6 pretty good appearances in a row. And the reason they gave him the ball is because they had confidence in his ability to go out there and get outs. But this is a really good Ole Miss lineup. Both of these teams mirror each other in so many ways. And one of the ways that they do is the ability to grind out at-bats, stay alive, foul pitches off, and win a lot of those battles. Ole Miss just happened to win a whole lot more of those battles in yesterday's ball game. So we're just down the street right now from Baum-Walker Stadium. We're inside the stadium shop, which is one of my favorite places to come and pick out Razorback gear. I didn't realize I was wearing a shirt that came from the stadium shop that IMG placed on my counter in the booth at Omaha last year, and it's got the baseball-only Ribby logo. So this is my usual Game 3 shirt. I know I tell you, Ty, that I'm not superstitious, but maybe we can just say superstitions and routines are almost like the same thing, because my routine is to wear a white Razorback polo for the first game of a series, a red polo for Game 2, and this white polo with black stripes and the Ribby logo on it for Game 3. So here is my routine/superstition, and it won't have anything to do with what happens on the field.
He's just trying to take away the fact that he actually has a superstition. He's trying to defend himself when it actually comes to this, because having a superstition would just be morally wrong for Phil to have, even though I have a bunch of them. Bubba has them. Everyone else seems to have them, but Phil Elson does not have superstitions.
They're all routines. I think,
Okay, keep telling yourself that. It's okay.
We're splicing the definition of this word here a little bit. So I'll go with routines, you go with superstitions, and maybe somebody has told me before, so your superstition is not having a superstition. I was like, all right then, I guess everybody's got something, right? Got a good tweet here from Neil Reed. He says he's got a good feeling today for Arkansas because Ole Miss's right-hander's last name starts with Hogg, but it isn't pronounced Gunnar Hoagland. It's pronounced Gunnar Hoagland. So maybe if we all call the Hogs at some point today, that might help out a little bit. Hey, by the way, I'm excited to start talking about this, and I think at some point, Ty, we're going to be doing a remote show from a Hardee's location near you, down around the fort, because it's the 15th annual Thick Burger Eating Contest that gets you a football trip of a lifetime. I head to Kansas City just before New Year's to see the Chiefs and the Chargers, getting 2 tickets to the game, premium hotel accommodations, spending cash, and, of course, memories that last a lifetime. Because as I keep being told, there is nothing quite like going to see the Kansas City Chiefs, especially when they're playing one of their division rivals, the Los Angeles. Did I call them the San Diego Chargers? I think we'll be doing that until Kingdom Come.
Kansas City Chiefs and the San Diego Chargers.
Come out to a Thick Burger Challenge remote at Hardee's. Get qualified. You can eat a Thick Burger in 90 seconds or less, and you're automatically qualified for the finals. And the finals are Saturday, August the 17th. And even if you're not like Ty, who is the eating contest kind of person, find someone who is, because the trip is for 2. Ty, could you finish a Thick Burger in 90 seconds or less? I'm going to say you could finish a Thick Burger in 1 bite, about 30 seconds.
I think I could do it in less than 60. I didn't participate last year, but I think this year they might throw me in there. So
you're probably not allowed to participate, are you?
Yeah, but it'll be like a celebrity, and if I win, it goes to second place, and I'm not going to win. I can't out-eat some of these guys that participate. I'm just being honest. Cards
You've
on
got
the
professionals
table.
coming in, right? Okay.
Yeah.
It's like a super regional Thick Burger eating contest.
It's a big deal, man.
It sure is. All right, it's a big deal here on Halftime 2, which is going to be joined by Clay Henry in a couple of the segments, but we'll come back. Got some basketball-related news next on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Primetime is whenever we play.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Tye Richardson. This is the Morning Rush.
We talked about the hype, how this series has the feel, guys. It's like a football weekend. Everybody's setting up tailgates. Tickets are going for way above face value. We talk about tailgates and people lining up for the hog pen. We don't normally talk about having to pay hundreds of dollars to get into a college baseball game. It's happening this weekend in Fayetteville.
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3.
Edwards Auto Center in Roland has a newly remodeled facility with a greater selection of vehicles, and you will enjoy a relaxed, no-pressure sales experience. If your credit score has been an issue, Edwards' signature Buy Here, Pay Here program is a part of their superior customer service. Some restrictions may apply. Edwards has helped folks achieve their dreams of auto ownership and providing quality used vehicles for more than 30 years. Visit the newly remodeled Edwards Auto Center 3 miles west of the Garrison Bridge, the first car dealer on the right, or log on at edwardsautosalesinc.com.
Advanced Mechanical Performance, your premier UTV, off-road, truck, and Jeep repair facility. Whether it's a lift kit, an oil change, or a complete makeover of your machine, Go see Cody and the gang at AMP and get it right the first time. These guys know what they're doing and are doing what they know. Advanced Mechanical Performance, 3201 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith. Call them today at 434-4161.
The law offices of Andrea Stone Hanna, PLLC, are proud supporters of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Call them today before your soon-to-be ex does. Andrea Stone Hanna and David L. Powell promise to do whatever they can to assist and support you, your family, and your business when you face the toughest legal challenges you could possibly encounter. For divorce, custody, and all family law or criminal matters, call Andrea or David today at 479-242-5874 and request a consultation. Contact them today at AndreaHannahLaw.com or call 479-242-5874.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
They worked through any problems that came up and got me driving a very nice car. I found the people at Hertz Car Sales to be very helpful and easy to work with. This is what buying a car should be like.
Why not make the short drive to 2810 Midland Boulevard or give them a call at 783-1722. You can also check them out on the web at buyfromhertz.com. Trade-ins are always welcome. Stop by Hertz Car Sales today. You'll be glad you did.
Are you looking at new floors for your home or maybe a new look in some rooms? Look no further. Woodard Carpet and Designs in Clarksville can provide the products and services to fit your needs. JT and Melissa Woodard, along with the certified staff, will help you with floors, walls, and windows, along with in-house decorating. They can carry luxury vinyl, plank, and tile, commercial carpet, Wilson Art countertops, custom area rugs, wallpaper, and custom blinds. Visit Woodard Carpet and Design at 514 West Cherry in downtown Clarksville.
34 million Americans smoke. That's about 1 in 7 people. Not every smoker wants to continue using cigarettes. Juul was designed by smokers for smokers to be a satisfying alternative to cigarettes. Juul is a vapor product that contains nicotine for a satisfying transition. If you're one of the 34 million adults who smoke, know that there is an alternative to cigarettes. Make the switch at Juul.com. That's JUUL.com. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Tye Richardson.
Jack hits a high fly ball to right field. Back goes Servideo. He's at the fence, and that is out of here. Jack Kenley with the 3-run Jack.
Back on Halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. I saw where Eric Musselman was dressed in a full Razorback baseball uniform for yesterday's game. How about that? I know he loves baseball. When he came on our broadcast about a month and a half ago after the hiring, he had talked about how much he enjoyed baseball at the college level and as a Padres fan when he went to San Diego State University. Or did he go to USD? I always get those two schools mixed up. But, I mean, he looked like a ball player yesterday. In the cream colors, too. I think his socks were hiked up as well as the rest of the coaches were around him wearing they weren't dressed in full uniform, but it almost felt like Muss wanted to go out and pinch run.
Yeah, and he was decked out when he threw that first pitch in a Hog uniform as well. And you got to remember, Phil, he was neighbors with Billy Beane, and they talked about analytics with baseball and stuff. So there's that connection as well.
That would be an interesting conversation to be on a fly on the wall with, huh?
I can only imagine. I mean, you think about those two because he's talked about analytics it's like as much as he's got here, and he brings it up all the time. And Billy Beane kind of on the forefront when it comes to using analytics in sports. So, yeah, that would definitely be a conversation you and I would be interested in hearing.
So involving Arkansas basketball, we've got a coming, we've got a going, and a possible coming. The possible coming we talked about with Aaron Torres on Friday. Virginia Tech's Kerry Blackshear, who is in the transfer portal, took his name out of the NBA draft and is the top remaining grad transfer available. He has visited Arkansas and Florida, looking at Kentucky and potentially Tennessee and Texas A&M, where his former coach Buzz Williams moved from Va-Tech over to Texas A&M. Averaged just under 15 points, 7.5 rebounds, 2.4 assists for a pretty good Hokies team. Started all 35 games. and that's the possible coming. There's a thought. I know that Aaron Torres said if they get him on campus, that there's a legitimate shot that they could end up getting him.
Yeah. Eric Weingarten, who now works with Nicky and Hutch down at Rivals, and I was texting him this weekend, he seems to think there's a pretty decent chance that Arkansas could get him, along with our buddy Kevin Sweeney, who we had on during March Madness. Muss is really good when he gets a guy on campus. He has a great process, a great walkthrough that he goes with. And we talked with Connor Vanover about that, just kind of how he lays out his plan for that particular player. So that has to give you hope as an Arkansas fan. And I know you just we'll get to what happened with the other guy in a sec, but if you're able to get the number one value transfer in Muss's first year, I know at one point Mike got Jalen Barford and Daryl making the 1 and 2 in JUCO. That's awesome. You have to be thrilled if you're an Arkansas basketball fan, Phil.
Well, and at the same time, while you might get Kerry Blackshear, Arkansas loses on Isaiah Moss, who was part of the program for about a month. That was I was about to say that was the quickest tenure I've ever seen at Arkansas basketball, but we know differently. The head coach that was here for like 22 hours one time. So Isaiah Moss decommits, had been expected to be in the backcourt out of Iowa, and now potentially might be looking at Kansas. So he and Blackshear are on the same position, so I guess these things seem to go together. I don't know if one thing leads to the other, but right there would be the scholarship potentially that's open for Kerry Blackshear.
Yeah, and I'm curious, like with Blackshear coming in, and this might have not had any effect on it at all, but maybe not be in the exact same position, but you think about the touches and the spotlight that Kerry Blackshear, if he were to choose Arkansas, would come with him as the number one transfer guy, a guy that's really trying to make his mark before entering the NBA, because as you mentioned, he took his name out the day before the deadline for the NBA draft. So this is a guy that really wants to get better and really value his last year trying to wow scouts and get to the next level.
And Arkansas basketball has hired a new athletic trainer, and this is someone coming from Major League Baseball. It's Mark O'Neill, who had been the director of medical operations for the Chicago Cubs, had worked his way up the minor league chain in the St. Louis Cardinals organization to be St. Louis's lead trainer for a few years. He'd been with the Cubs since 2004 as the head athletic trainer and was promoted to the role as director of medical operations in 2012. So 15 seasons with the St. Louis Cardinals and then 15 more years with the Chicago Cubs, and he replaces Dave England, who he's got a connection to here because Dave England and Mark O'Neill both were trainers in the Cardinals organization and came from baseball. And in fact, they both were trainers for the Arkansas Travelers. I saw Dave England yesterday at Baum Stadium, and he's helping out with all of the training facilities that they've got for the Super Regional. And Dave was the athletic trainer for the Travs for, I think it was 2 years, late 1970s, right about the time Dave Jordan would have been pitching for the Travelers too. That would have been an interesting combination to be around at that time. And Mark O'Neill also was a Travelers trainer in the mid-90s. So it's a nice little connection that you go there. And we got another connection with the Travelers in a couple years probably because of Isaiah Campbell coming from the Arkansas pitching staff, and Mariners drafted him, and Seattle is the Travelers' double-A affiliate. So I love the connections because you got one with me too in the Travs and the Razorbacks.
Seems like Ben Zobrist and some other Cubs were sad to see this guy go, so that kind of is not necessarily reassuring, but you're kind of happy that if the other players are sad to see this guy depart, that hopefully means good things ahead for the Razorbacks on the health standpoint.
It's an interesting move, to go from 30 years working for Major League Baseball teams, and really the last 15 more than that because of how many years he'd been on the big league staff for St. Louis, to go from Major League Baseball to the University of Arkansas basketball program, which I think says a lot about the basketball program too. When you get somebody with those sort of credentials that's coming back here to work at the University of Arkansas. All right, we'll step aside for a break. Our friend Clay Henry from Hogs Illustrated coming on next. This is Halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Don't spend life sitting on your hands. You're listening to Halftime.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging, the Xerox authorized agency and dealer in the River Valley. The 29 new models of Xerox business printers and copiers represent a quantum leap forward in office technology. They are designed for the way we work today, safely and securely. They're powered by Xerox Connect Key technology. They're innovative and affordable with both black and white and color devices available. For more information, give Dixie Digital a call at 783-6600 or visit us at dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing Xerox document innovations to the River Valley.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Elite Roofing is a locally owned roofing contractor. If you're building a new home or maybe need a new roof on your existing home, Elite Roofing can take care of you. Elite Roofing is known for their dependability and reliability. Just ask any of their satisfied customers. They are licensed and insured, and references are available upon request. If you need a roof, call your local roofing contractors. Elite Roofing, 478-8668. That's 478-8668. Elite Roofing, 478-8668.
You know, a night out with friends can be so much more. Upgrade your evening at 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge on the Avenue. Rediscover life's simple pleasures. Dial back, slow down, and immerse yourself in what true relaxation can be. Top shelf wines and liquors, premium beers, world-class cigars, all in an atmosphere that feels less like a lounge and more like a destination. Sample, indulge, escape. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Upgrade your night on the Avenue.
Quit eating your burgers off a coffee table. If you want to eat a burger, put it on a bar. Follow your instincts to B-dubs for the new All-American Cheeseburger. Fresh, juicy beef smashed till it's crispy around the edges, covered in gooey cheese, and stacked to the ceiling with deliciousness. And knock that baby down with a frosted beer at the bar. Just like the sports gods intended. The new All-American Cheeseburger at Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar! Please drink responsibly.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling has a new owner, Andy Herod, and he is ready to make your auto body repairs today. If you live in Barling, Central, Lavaca, or Charleston, Colorworks is your local auto body repair shop. Andy provides superior auto body repair and paint work in addition to working with your insurance company to make your claim as easy as possible. If you have a collision and need repairs, ask for Andy at Colorworks, 1206 4th Street in Barling across from CV's, or call 434-2639.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Tye Richardson.
There's a drive, right center field, way back it goes. You gotta get out of here. Into the video board. Matt Goodhart with a 2-run homer, and the Hogs are blowing out Ole Miss.
Well, they did blow out Ole Miss on Saturday, and then Ole Miss returned the favor yesterday. Who knows what will happen today? Let's talk about that with Clay Henry from Hogs Illustrated. Joining us, I think the first time he's ever been on with us on Halftime. Clay, appreciate your time and your expertise. How you doing today?
Yeah, appreciate y'all having me. Thanks.
Well, I'm nervous. I think I mirror what everybody else is thinking today. I don't really know what to expect in this ballgame because I thought we'd see tight games that would come down to the bullpens, and that has been 100% incorrect. So I still expect to see a tight game that comes down to the bullpens today. Why would I be wrong at that thought process?
Well, I think that when you get in these rubber match situations, from my experience, you don't go with the starter for long unless it's the third game, so you've used up your best starters. And I'm not saying that Hoagland and Wicklander aren't terrific, but they're both freshmen. And if you sense in either case that it's not going good, and whether that be the first inning or the second inning, I think you'll see the bullpen. And but yeah, I think that's where we're headed. And I love these situations. And if you're following either one of these teams and you're sitting there and thinking, I got this, well, I think you're probably you're out there on a limb that might break. Because I don't think either side really knows they got this. Two terrific teams. There's been, like you say, some nail biters, and then there's been some blowouts. So what Arkansas has had one blowout, and Ole Miss has had two. So but by and large, these teams both pitch really well, Phil, and I would expect them to pitch well, this afternoon.
The weird thing, what we've seen here, Clay, in these first two games, is two really good teams that haven't played two good games each, and that's played itself out in the final score. And I wonder what you gathered from watching the Hogs yesterday, where at the plate there were times where they seemed a little bit jumpy. On the mound, the numbers speak for themselves, and in the field, they didn't commit any errors, but there were 6 or 7 plays that didn't get made that they usually make. And I wonder what you made of what you saw yesterday.
Yeah, they too many. I mean, it's always pitching. Baseball is pitching. I grew up playing baseball, going to baseball, and you're as good as the next pitcher. And I thought in Ole Miss's case, they pitched quite a bit better than Arkansas did yesterday. And it was a good, fair, tight strike zone. I know Arkansas fans didn't like it at times, but you didn't get a lot of stuff on the black. And Connor Nolan early on was frustrated because he thought he hit the black a couple of times, and he's gotten those calls in the SEC campaigns, and he didn't get them yesterday. I thought that frustrated him, and he didn't handle it, the way, in a mature way. It's about approach and pitching, and I thought Ole Miss's approach at the plate was really good, and they took advantage. And Cole Ramage, 6 walks, 5 in that inning. That's not like him either. But it was a tight, fair zone that they didn't hit, and the wind's blowing out, and you finally like, okay, I got to throw a strike, and you put it in the fat of the plate. Well, guess where that one's landed?
Talking with Clay. Oh, sorry, Clay. Go ahead.
But it's going to be back out there in those pine trees. That's where it's landing. But but Wicklander hits his spots and is around the plate, and you start seeing zeros up there instead of crooked numbers. And I'm not worried about that because I think Wicklander can do it. But the thing that you have to say about Arkansas's pitching is they burned one of their better bullpen guys Kevin Kopps is a guy that they put in the game because they thought it was still a salvageable game, and so they burned him yesterday. I wouldn't think that he could pitch much today. So that's one less guy that you've got, and Ole Miss has done some of that the last 2 days too. They've burned some guys.
Talking with Clay Henry, publisher of Hogs Illustrated here on Taft Time, talking some Arkansas Ole Miss baseball. Clay, one of the things that Phil and Bubba have discussed, and Phil and I have discussed when it comes to Ole Miss, is kind of their antics, what they do after every home run, after every inning when a pitcher finishes his guys off. Do you have a problem with the way they react and how they kind of go about games on a daily basis?
Well, it's amateur baseball, and the emotion is there. This isn't pro baseball, and I don't expect the teams to behave like professional players. And you've got that going on. But if you'll turn the page back to last year, what did Arkansas do after home runs?
Hog hat, with Cowboy.
Yeah, and that's not normal. And the other teams are looking across there is like they're bringing a hog hat out to home plate. And so Arkansas's done that before, and they've had pitchers that, have fist pumped after, called strike threes and stomped around out there. So, I mean, it's different. And I'd say this Arkansas baseball team acts more professional than Ole Miss, but it's amateur baseball, and I don't really spend a lot of time, thinking about that. I mean, it's the stuff you see more in softball games where they go out there and jump around and holler with some kind of a chant after a home run or a big inning. Don't see it in baseball quite as much, but I think if you look around, the super regionals at this point, there's some of that going on, and I don't take too much from it because just like I said last year, Arkansas was doing the hog hat thing, and that's probably not normal either.
Clay, no one wants to think about Arkansas losing today and not making it to Omaha, but with a caliber team like Ole Miss, that seems like a possibility. If Ole Miss is able to prevail today, what do you think is going to be the majority reaction from the Arkansas fan base with how their season concluded?
I think it'll be mixed. I think you'll have some that are disappointed, and I think then there's, and that's pretty natural. Here's what's going on with Arkansas baseball right now. They've been good enough times that if you don't go to Omaha, there is a little bit of a disappointment because there's nothing else to do this time of year, and you look forward to another week or two of the season and having your team on the national stage and the way it's covered in Omaha. It's pretty fun to watch, and it's also close enough that enough fans get to go. But you also have to kind of tell yourself, how many times has Arkansas gone in back-to-back years? Well, it's never happened. So this would be unusual if they get there. It's obviously possible. But you have to say this, and people will say this before the season, but they won't say it today. If you told them before the season we can go play the last game, a rubber match of a super regional at Von Walker Stadium, would you take your chances? Yep, you would. So it's an awful lot of fun right now, and this is where you want to be. And you can look around. LSU, they got swept at home. So when you're playing at this time of year against this quality of team, it can happen, and it shouldn't crush you. But I think it does disappoint you if it happens. But I will say this. You look at Ole Miss. They've been really good. You know how many times Mike Bianco has gone to the College World Series? One time. So you can be disappointed, but you also have to know that it's quite an accomplishment to get to this point in the season. And I'd turn the page if I was an Arkansas fan and start looking at what this team has coming back for next year and look forward to that because it's going to be another good run. This is, I've thought all along that this was the in-between year between College World Series trips, that next year was when Arkansas would really be loaded based on, the arms that that they've got, the young arms, and also the position players. When you look around, you're going to lose Isaiah Campbell, but I think they'll still be good pitching wise. And I think as you look at their lineup, there's a lot of good players that are going to be coming back.
Clay, you're good to join us today. We'll always appreciate it. Hopefully we can do it again, maybe even from the Emerald City of college baseball next week.
That would be fun. Take you guys to the Drover for a steak. How's that?
Oh, I'd love a whiskey steak. I'm all for it. Let's win today and make plans. All right.
Yep. All right, we'll do it. Thanks, guys.
You got it. That's you got it. That's Clay Henry. By the way, this isn't just a can that Auburn has opened up on North Carolina. We got an entire 36-pack being opened on North Carolina. Auburn has scored 11 runs in the first inning, and it looks like they just scored their 12th. 12 runs before North Carolina even comes to bat.
Did you say 12?
And the Tar Heels, I said 12.
Good
you heard that
gosh.
right. 12-0 before North Carolina has even come to hit. So there's a third SEC team that will make it to the College World Series, and you're guaranteed a fourth. And that'll be either Arkansas or Ole Miss. Hey, before we go to the break, I need to talk to everybody out there that's getting into real estate. If you're looking for a new home or if you're thinking about getting into real estate investing, call Quantum Property Services. Buying, selling, investing, all your property needs. Right now, get with their real estate pros to find a new home because interest rates remain low. Or if you're looking to get into real estate investing, they can find the right property or properties and make it hassle-free by managing those properties for you. That's Quantum Property Services at 479-434-6860 or online at quantumpropertyservicesinc.com. Going to wrap up the first hour of halftime after the break on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
You're listening to Halftime.
Tommy Kraft for the Fence Man. Do you own a business that needs more security? Or maybe you just want a better look and more curb appeal? A new fence from the Fence Man can give you both. In business for more than 40 years, the Fence Man can custom install any type of fencing, gates, controlled access, and card readers. Call the Fence Man for a quick, no obligations quote. 479-782-3936. That's 782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. Unlimited personal group training at the Fort Smith Athletic Club. Personal group training is a great way to create accountability for your fitness while improving mobility, endurance, and overall wellness. Reach your fitness goals faster with personal group training. Only $60 a month. Call Mike Johnson at 479-926-0193. These workouts are high intensity and get results in under an hour. Only $60 a month. Call for class schedules and details. 479-926-0193. Results happen here at the Fort Smith Athletic Club.
Is your home at least 10 years old and served by OG&E? OG&E is offering Arkansas customers a free weatherization program to increase your comfort and lower your bills. A trained crew will perform an energy audit at no cost to you, and if your home qualifies, our crews will install measures that will save you money. The services provided through this program are absolutely free to qualifying homes. If you could benefit from free home weatherization improvements, call OG&E at 1-800-272-9741. That's 1-800-272-9741.
Want to have more than your average home? D&D Flooring is a simple choice. You can choose to have excellent customer service and design assistance with D&D Flooring. Wood, vinyl, carpet, to beautiful window treatments, professional installation every time. Zero financing options available. Come see D&D Flooring large showroom and selections. D&D Flooring, serving the River Valley and surrounding areas. 1323 Main Street, Van Buren, or call 474-0533.
Adams & Son Roofing and Construction is here to assist in the rebuilding of our community during this historical time in the River Valley and surrounding areas. Adams & Son Roofing and Construction does quality workmanship from complete roofing, siding, gutters, inside your home remodeling, plus all your construction needs. Give them a call today for a free estimate. 479-434-4455. Adams & Son Roofing and Construction, licensed, insured, and bonded. Check us on the web at adamsroofingandconstruction.com. Adams & Son Roofing and Construction, here for our community. What's your next obsession? If it's diving lessons, Ocean Impact Dive Shop, Western Arkansas, and Eastern Oklahoma's premier dive shop is waiting on you. Ocean Impact is a full-service 5-star PADI dive shop offering air fills and tank inspections. The staff can answer all your questions and get you started on your underwater adventure. Ocean Impact Dive Shop, 2127 South 56th Street, Fort Smith. Don't wait, summer's just around the corner. Get to Ocean Impact Dive Shop. Go get your dive on.
Was your roof damaged by recent storms? Don't fall victim to out-of-town contractors and fly-by-night repairmen. Trust the local roofing professionals at Able Roofing. Call their local number, 474-0006, for a free roof inspection. Never trust something as important as the roofing system on your home to a storm chaser. Able Roofing, 474-0006, will work with your insurance company. Call now for your free roof inspection, 474-0006. Able Roofing, the hometown roofers.
True Grit Running Company is where perseverance meets passion. Whether you're training for your next marathon or just comfortable shoes to keep up with your kids, we have the gear to help you reach your goals. With our slow motion gait analysis and our extensive product knowledge, we have the right pair of shoes for you. We also carry apparel, nutrition, hydration accessories, injury prevention gear, and recovery products. We offer classes, workshops, and group runs. Lace up, show up, and get your grit on. True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Tye Richardson.
Here's the pitch. High drive, right center field. Look at that one go. Way back, over the video board. Holy cow. Heston Kjerstad with a massive long ball.
Scary news coming out of the Dominican Republic last night. David Ortiz, known by his beloved Boston Red Sox baseball fans as Big Papi, was shot out of a nightclub. Luckily, he's okay. He is in intensive care currently. Had a 6-hour surgery last night that was performed by 3 doctors. Luckily, again, he is okay. He's in intensive care. No organs were harmed, but he's expected to make a full recovery, which is good. The gunman was identified as Eddie Felice Garcia, 25 years old, according to police spokesman Colonel Frank Duran Mejia. So scary for the Red Sox faithful MLB fans, and obviously Big Papi's family. Luckily, again, he is okay, which is good. But just a rough situation. The guy that was identified was beaten like to a pulp by Big Papi's friends and family. He is a icon down there in the Dominican Republic, so they were not happy when that occurred last night. All right, so we got 30 minutes left here on halftime. John Neighbors and Tommy Kraft are going to join me on the other side of the break. We're going to talk 3 up, 3 down, getting a little Arkansas football, some news coming out of Athlon Sports. They gave their Arkansas preview, so we're going to dive into that a little bit, as well as some other stuff. And then we got the Arkansas Baseball Tonight postgame show live from the Stadium Shop. John and Tommy are out there. If you're up in the Fayetteville area, stop by, go see them before the game today. Hogs and Rebs, 3 o'clock. A lot to get to on the other side. Stay with us.
Get $60 back by mail on a Firestone Visa prepaid card when you buy a set of 4 eligible tires. Get up to $100 when you make an eligible tire purchase with your CFNA credit card. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Your Firestone tires are waiting for you at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 at exit 14 in Fort Smith.
Valid now through July 8th. Restrictions apply. Card issued by the Bancorp Bank pursuant to a license from Visa USA Inc., the Bancorp Bank number FDIC, and can be used everywhere Visa debit cards are accepted. Card terms and conditions apply. See store for details. All rights reserved. Subject to credit approval. The Bancorp Bank is not affiliated with CFNA.
White Office Machines in Fort Smith and Russellville is a proud supporter of Arkansas Razorback Athletics and this area's authorized dealer for Kyocera Document Solutions. And since they've been doing business in this area since 1929, they know a thing or two about the image industry's newest technologies, and White Office Machines delivers the best overall value with their Kyocera MFPs, printers, and high-speed equipment. White Office Machines, 122 Towson Avenue in downtown Fort Smith, 1304 South Arkansas in Russellville, and online at whiteoffice.com.
Play ball! Joe's Grill and Cantina is the only place to watch the Hogs. Watch every game at Joe's. Enjoy half-price apps and taps during the game. And with TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat. Half-price appetizers like brisket nachos, Mexican pizza, 10-layer dip, or Joe's humongous sampler platter. All half price. And all beers on tap are half price. Watch every Hog game at Joe's. Half-price apps and taps during every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina. 3400 South 74th Street across from Harps.
At Michelob Ultra, we know it's not just about how much you work out every day. It's about how much you work into every day, too. So we brew our beer for those who realize that expending calories should never come at the expense of spending time with friends. Those who understand that just because you work out doesn't mean you can't go out. And that's why we brew Michelob Ultra to have 95 calories, 2.6 carbs, and a crisp, clean taste. Michelob Ultra, brewed for those who live fit, live fun, live ultra. Enjoy responsibly. 2018 Michelob Ultra Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri. 95 calories, 2.6 carbs, 0.6 grams of protein, and 0 grams fat for 12 ounces.
Are you looking for a new place to call home? Whether you're looking for an apartment, duplex, townhome, or a house, Trinity Multifamily has you covered. They even have options in surrounding states, from Texas to Michigan and Kansas to Tennessee. If you're looking for a new place to call home, make Trinity Multifamily your first call at 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Weather overnight, just a few clouds. Our lows 60 to 65. Monday, things look fair, mostly sunny. Our highs in the upper 70s north and low to mid 80s south. We'll get clear weather on Monday night, sunny on Tuesday, and mid to upper 70s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Weather is brought to you by Hertz Car Sales, 2810 Midland Boulevard in Fort Smith. You can call them today at 783-1722 or check them out online at buyfromhertz.com.
I hate everything you just said. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Bush and Bushlight Studios on ESPN 95.3.
They're hilarious.
Good morning, Vietnam! Broadcasting live from the Bud Light Studio.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas?
Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is Halftime.
Man, that ball got out of here in a hurry. You know, anything travels that far, ought to have a damn stewardess on it, don't you think?
With Phil Elson.
You do a fantastic job on the radio. There's no one else in this league I'd rather listen to, so keep up the good work.
And Tye Richardson.
Been doing some homework, man. I appreciate the work you're putting in. Your show is really, really good, guys.
423 miles away, the Emerald City awaits. The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Hey, hold on. It's almost halftime.
Next 30 minutes of halftime rolling along here on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com. John Neighbors, Tommy Kraft live from the Stadium Shop on Razorback going to be joining me this next half hour. Big news coming for Arkansas basketball. A former commit, Isaiah Moss, has now committed to Kansas. We just touched on that in the first hour. In the last 45 minutes or so, he has decided to take his basketball talents to Kansas. So big news coming out of there. Still waiting on what Kerry Blackshear is going to decide to do. He's got a official visit set with Tennessee this week. I know that Rick Barnes and Tennessee are going to make him a huge priority out there. We got a lot to get to in this second half hour, if you will. It's a weird show today, boys, isn't it? We got a half hour halftime and then an hour of pregame coverage, Arkansas baseball tonight. And I'm kind of envious because you guys are up in Fayetteville. You're at the Stadium Shop, and I'm just down here in Fort Smith.
Yeah, everybody's hoping for a quick start. You want to define what a quick start is? It's what Auburn is doing to North Carolina right now. It is 13-0, and North Carolina is now batting in the bottom of the first. 13-0, and we're in the first.
Shellacking.
Are you sure this isn't a football replay score you're looking at?
So, Tommy, what does that equate to?
This is what every Razorback
in football. A 13-0.
Stop the fight. I mean, this is boxing. This is like Mike Tyson 1993 or something, This is what this is.
Brutal.
I mean, yeah, Auburn is up 13-0 after batting in the top of the first, and North Carolina's got one out and one on in the bottom of the first right now. This is what the Razorback fans are nervously hoping for, because that's the feeling I get up here. Everybody's a little uneasy right now going into this game, and that's what makes being a sports fan great. It's a little unnerving right now knowing the season is on the line today.
Yeah, a little apprehensive based on what you did yesterday, and Ole Miss just came out and put bats on balls. And I think, but I thought John brought this up yesterday. You didn't get crushed by South Carolina in Game 2 last year, but you lost, and you still managed to come back and win Game 3. You did the same back in 2015 against Missouri State. Baseball is such an up and down sport that fans just kind of overreact to either wins or losses, and that kind of puts them in a I don't want to say trance, but I'm kind of with you, Tommy. I don't think the fan base is easy right now. I would definitely say they're uneasy about what's going to happen today at 3:00.
Absolutely. And John, was there anybody in this state that thought Arkansas was even going to go to a Game 3 after that 11-2 win?
Not many people.
No, everybody thought, this is in the bag, and then the table got turned on you. No one thought Ole Miss could mentally recover from that, and obviously Arkansas's got to do exactly what the Rebels did yesterday. So, it's unnerving what happened to Arkansas yesterday. You're not nervous about the offense. You're nervous about whether or not Arkansas can get off to the right start with Wicklander.
Well, it's going to be Wicklander. I mean, that has to be the key to this game, because yesterday we saw what happens when the pitching gets off to a slow start. You give up 8 runs in the first 2 innings.
But you want to know what the definition of running out of pitching is? It's North Carolina. Yeah. It's what we're seeing in this game that's going on right now. I think that's the definition of you have run out of pitching.
Yeah, because I think we were watching it with Phil Elson before, and I think they said they've already gone through 3 pitchers in the first inning. And so, that's not a recipe for success, I don't think, especially here in the Super Regional. But like you said, Tommy, if you're a Razorback fan, this is what you're hoping for. You're hoping that you can get them down like this and get them down early. Maybe not 13-0, because that is a lot.
I'll take 13.
Well, no, I think we all would. But just in reality, though, you'll take 4-0. You'll take 5. You just want to get out front.
A good shot of confidence.
That's right.
Here's what's at stake. I mean, you think about it. Auburn's up 13-0. I'd say there's a high percentage chance they're going to the College World Series at this point. Now, that would be even a greater story. What would you rather see, Auburn get to the College World Series or Auburn gag away a 13-0 first-inning lead?
Gag away.
What would be the thing that would delight you more?
Gag away, easily.
Right. So Auburn – I think you're right, Ty. So Mississippi State's going. We know that Vanderbilt is in.
That's right.
If Arkansas loses today, obviously Ole Miss would be in. Auburn's in. You got to sit at home and watch Auburn, Mississippi State, and Ole Miss from your division all be in the College World Series while you and LSU sit at home with Georgia and watch, that's just, ugh.
Is there any other doubt, too, that Arkansas and LSU, like those are the premier programs in the West, and then you got the programs that are SEC, like Mississippi State and Ole Miss, and even Auburn. Auburn wasn't even a relevant program just a few years ago. So yeah, it'd be pretty painful.
And so what we're watching here, guys, unfold is Auburn's going to go to the Final Four in the College World Series in a matter of 60 days, 90 days, whatever. It's in April and June.
Be good.
Pressure's on, Gus Malzahn.
That's what we're getting ready to watch happen here.
I asked Phil about this, guys, and the great thing about us being broadcasters is we get to be able to look ahead to stuff. We're not like the players. We're not like the coaches where they're singularly focused on the game ahead. If you look who Arkansas.
One show at a time. I'm just one show at a time.
Think about this, guys. Arkansas side of the bracket. Texas Tech, that's a pretty salty ball club. You got Michigan. I mean, I know Michigan was able to beat UCLA and get hot, and then Florida State. Now, I know inspiration and kind of momentum will carry these guys into Omaha, but from a pure talent standpoint, that's not a bad draw that Arkansas could potentially get if they were going to beat Ole Miss today.
We were talking about that on the way up, that this is the year you've got to win this game today because this is the year with UCLA out, and as you said, LSU out, the two teams that you'd be most concerned about in your half. With them out, and as you said, don't take anything away from Michigan and Florida State, but they're, I know they didn't win the series, but they're not the caliber of teams that are going to replace them on the bracket. This is the year that you feel like you go in and you play your brand of baseball if you're Arkansas, and guys, you can make a run to the championship series. Now, at that point, you're going to end up facing, perhaps a Vanderbilt or, see who you end up getting on that other side. But, yeah, this would be the year you feel like you could really be the favorite on your half of the bracket for sure.
And I think with kind of on that note, Tommy, you can't even use that as like bulletin board material if you're a coach or anything because they're just going to 100% be focused on Ole Miss. I mean, you just got crushed by them yesterday. But that has to be in the back of DVH, Matt Hobbs, Thompson, all those guys' minds, the fact that if they were able to escape with the win today, their road to a national championship College World Series final has to be a little bit easier than it was last year, right?
Yeah. Now, make no mistake, Mike Martin's going to be the story of. He's going to be the media darling of this event.
Correct.
As long as his team is in it. But yeah, no, Arkansas would be the team to beat on that half of the bracket, no question. And it would be something that if Arkansas doesn't accomplish the mission today, it's just going to eat at you the entire offseason if you're Van Horn.
Yeah. And even when you're talking about, wanting the easiest competition, there's no shame in saying that. No. There's no shame in saying that you want the easiest path to a national championship. Because you know what? Arkansas had a pretty difficult path last year, and they still got there. But you know what? I guarantee you if you were able to play teams like an Auburn that you've already played before and you've had success, if it was Michigan, who, I didn't even know they had a baseball program until yesterday. it's just if you're able to have that pathway, I don't think anyone's going to look back if Arkansas wins the national championship and be like, yeah, well, let's put an asterisk next to it. They didn't really play that good of teams. They're just going to know they won the championship.
Did we not learn our lesson in the Sugar Bowl when we wanted all those guys to play?
Yes.
No. Let them come back and serve their suspension later.
Yeah. No. You want everyone hurt. And
wrong.
You want everyone suspended, as many people as possible.
And then everyone on your half of the bracket and everybody late. And I want there to be everybody's ace pitcher suspended for 4 games. On your half of the bracket somehow, and miraculously. And then when you get to the final, that other team's pitcher, he's gotten thrown out, and he's suspended for 4 games. So, that's what I don't care. And their best hitter, too, while they're at it. doesn't matter to me.
Guys,
whatever it takes to win.
Think about the NBA Finals right now with the Toronto Raptors. Franchise has been around 25 years. They're in their first Finals appearance. You haven't seen Kevin Durant, arguably the second first best player in the NBA in this series, Klay Thompson being injured one game. Do you think Raptors fans really care the fact that they are on the verge of winning their first NBA championship ever and a couple players are injured? They just want to win. In the history books, yes, some people will remember that Kevin Durant didn't. We'll see if he plays tonight, and then you didn't see Klay Thompson in Game 3. Like certain people will remember that, but you'll always have the potential of a Toronto Raptors 2019 NBA champions. And if Arkansas is able to do that and win it, no one's going to remember this pitcher was out. This team was knocked out by this lesser team. It's the fact that they could finish as a national champion by getting there with an easier road. And I think, honestly, I know just personally as an Arkansas fan, selfishly, man, I wish we could go through all the best teams like we did last year to win a national championship. You just want to win the stupid thing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Hey, we're live at the Stadium Shop. I want to mention that real quick. Again, Robert and his family have been nice enough to have us here. 989 South Razorback Road, right just, a 2-minute walk from the stadium parking lot. So if you're already on your way, you're getting ready to park, you've been listening to us on the radio, come on down, say hello. We're going to be here till 2:30.
Right.
We're going to be here till 2:30 today, so come by. If you need a shirt, a hat, basically anything's got a Razorback on it, you need it for the game, they got it right here. So come by and say hi. We'll be telling you more about the Stadium Shop.
Boys, you guys are up there, and you're kind of getting to experience the atmosphere, the electricity. And one of the things we were wondering yesterday, would the impact of a regular work day, being at 3 o'clock the game, how many fans have you noticed outside? Is it kind of the same atmosphere that you saw on Sunday and Saturday?
No, it's not. I mean, I think there will be plenty of people here today. I don't know what you are feeling, John, but I think the crowd's going to be off slightly, but I think it's still going to be a great crowd. When we arrived first here on our way to the Stadium Shop, the line was about halfway down to the corner of the hog pen, going back what would be south towards the four-way there. And it'll be wrapped around. It'll be back around the stadium again by the time game time gets here. But to get into the hog pen, I just think it's going to be harder for people to take off another weekday after they've done it for the regionals to get here today. But I do expect there to be 10,000 plus. But I don't think you're going to be approaching a 12,000 person record or anything of that nature today.
Well, what it reminds me of, and I don't know if you remember it, Tommy, but you remember, I think it was 2003. When Arkansas football played Florida, and Arkansas was getting blown out, it was like 33-7, and then they made that historic comeback in front of like 30,000 fans in the stands, but yet it felt just as loud, just as crazy, just as wild as if you had 72,000. I think it's going to be similar here. You may not have the number, but the atmosphere, the noise level, everything is going to be the same.
Oh, I think you'll have 8,500, 9,500, somewhere in that range here today.
That's fair.
I mean, I don't think the stadium's going to lack for atmosphere. I just don't think it's going to be jam full, standing room only. I don't think it'll be the largest crowd of the three. I think it'll be the smallest crowd of the three. It's still going to be a nice crowd. It's still going to be an imposing environment, and it's going to be hard. It's going to make it harder on Ole Miss today. But it's not going to be the best of the three, would be my estimate, because there's still plenty of people out there. If you can't go today because of work or whatever, there's still plenty of people ready and willing to take your ticket.
Tommy, let me ask you, as the business guru between the three of us, with ESPN not having to broadcast the LSU game, when the times are set in stone with like Arkansas baseball obviously playing at 3 today on ESPN2, why wouldn't they be allowed to take LSU's primetime game slot and be able to play later in the day, which would allow more people to attend?
When you say they, who do you mean they? Do you mean the University of Arkansas,
like
the NCAA, or ESPN?
All three. Like that's like I don't understand that. Help me understand that from a guy that just doesn't get that.
Well, because here's what's interesting. What's going to be on in that time spot tonight?
The NBA Finals.
No, it's on ABC.
It's on ABC.
Yeah,
but it's an ESPN affiliate, though.
Right, but what are you going to put on ESPN2 or wherever the LSU? What's going to go on that spot tonight?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Going to be the NBA Finals. So
it's probably going to be highlights of the NBA Finals.
Bowling or a replay of this Auburn, North Carolina.
Stephen A. Smith.
It doesn't make. You're right, Ty. It doesn't make sense, but at the same time, you preset these times out, and the NCAA is all about, and should be, because Arkansas has been the visiting team in this situation many times before. It's all about fairness. It's all about making sure that the situation you're in, both teams have an equal chance. I think moving around game times, you're moving it for both teams, but I think they're slow to do that because the host institutions plan on a certain time. There's just a lot that goes into moving a game time on less than 24 hours notice. You got to get security personnel there. You got to get stadium concession workers. You got to, parking attendants. There's just so many things, and you can't just snap your fingers and make sure all those people show up to work either. So I think there's a lot of consideration when it goes into moving a game time on that short of a notice. This isn't a week out where CBS wants to move a football game. We're talking 24 hours out.
I guess that makes sense. Because I was getting
It would be far more convenient for all of us to play this game at 6 o'clock.
Exactly.
I wouldn't need sunscreen at 6 o'clock.
I was just getting text about that yesterday and this morning because it was weird because LSU, as we mentioned on the Morning Rush, goes down in 12 innings and they get swept in their home stadium 2-0. And I was just thinking, man, is that a possibility? So you just answered that adequately. And so you mentioned that estimating about 8,500 or so and maybe possibly having the same type of atmosphere but not having as many. How much of an impact do you think the home crowd has on today with another true freshman in Gunnar Hoagland?
Honestly, I think that anytime you can have an atmosphere like Baum-Walker Stadium, it's going to have an impact on somebody. You were hoping yesterday that it was going to have a big impact, especially with of course his name just gave me the pitcher for Ole Miss yesterday.
Boogerman?
Nikhazy.
Yeah, Nikhazy. Yeah, when he had the social media deal of him getting caught picking his nose, then you were hoping that that on top of the atmosphere will maybe be able to cause some sort of mental game on him. But you did really well against him. But you're hoping that also today that with the pressure being on Ole Miss and the pressure that's going on them, you're hoping that it'll reach them and the imposing crowd will reach them in a much bigger impact than what it would be, say, on Patrick Wicklander, this is the first time he's ever been in this situation. So it's not like it's going to be one way or the other. But I do think that anytime you're on the road, there's always going to be an element of imposing atmospheres and imposing crowds. In a game like this, knowing what's on the line, knowing that Ole Miss goes from the same situation with Arkansas, it's either success or disappointment, either way for these teams.
Yeah, and we got to remember, these are 19, 20, 21-year-old kids out here.
Yep.
Playing, and a lot of these, now some of these kids were involved in the College World Series event in March last year.
Yeah.
Many were not. There's a lot of newcomers on this team, or a lot of kids that didn't have an active role in last year's team. There's a lot of new faces in the lineup. Agreed?
Oh yeah.
Obviously there are, and so it's a different kind of pressure when you're playing for a birth, where it's do or die. It's win or sack the bats today. So that's a different kind of pressure. There is no tomorrow if you lose today.
About less than 2 hours from first pitch here on ESPN Arkansas. John and Tommy live from the Stadium Shop on Razorback Tye back here in Fort Smith. One more segment of halftime coming up next. You're listening on ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com.
You're listening to Halftime. This is the Morning Rush.
We talked about the hype, how this series has the feel, guys. It's like a football weekend. Everybody's setting up tailgates. Tickets are going for way above face value. We talk about tailgates and people lining up for the hog pen. We don't normally talk about having to pay hundreds of dollars to get into a college baseball game. It's happening this weekend in Fayetteville.
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3.
Looking for a new home course this golf season? Eagle Crest Golf Course has memberships as low as $83 a month for Zoysia fairways and bent grass greens. Is your whole golf group ready to join Eagle Crest? 4 new members can join for just $1,150 each for the entire year. Individual annual memberships are just $1,250 a year. Call Eagle Crest Golf Course right now for all the details. 632-8857. That's 632-8857. Eagle Crest Golf Course, Highway 64, just east of Alma.
Massey Ferguson Tractors have arrived at Bush Machine & Tractor. Bush Machine & Tractor is proud to be the newest Massey Ferguson dealer in western Arkansas, providing you with a full lineup of versatile Massey Ferguson tractors. They're built with straightforward power, smart fuel economy, and upgraded control and comfort. Stop by and find a new Massey Ferguson perfectly sized to fit your property or farm at Bush Machine & Tractor, 7301 South 0th Street in Fort Smith, or visit us online at bushtractor.com.
Father's Day is Sunday, June 16th. Give that special dad a great gift from Jelco Outdoors. Here's some special savings you'll find throughout the store. Save $100 off any fishing kayak. Fire disc grills, $50 off. 511 tactical clothing, 25% off. Camp Chef pellet grills, $100 off. Lure Lock utility boxes, 50% off. Get a free gift with any